You have these moments where somebody will hurriedly bring their little girl over to take a picture with you. Or you get an unbelievable email from like a gay boy in Kansas or something, who says they saw you on the internet. And then you're reminded of the difference it makes, whether it's on a TV show or in an op-ed or in an elected office, to have people from the women's community, people of color, disabled, LGBT, whatever, who haven't been in those places before. And it makes you want to work harder and work more effectively to get even more done.
I think Will and Grace did enormous good.
Yeah,
and I think Sean Hayes, the writing and the performance of the Jack character.
It wasn't him at all. It was mostly me.
It was mostly the writing. No, but I think it's a really important point in a movement or whatever you want to call it when you take some of the stereotypes that you have that have bothered you and you celebrate them in a certain way.
You need that gay nerd in high school to feel like he can be a quarterback. You have to have that, and if this simple thing of being married isn't something that can be a part of his life at some point, it just sends this horrible message from day one to him that it's just, you're not the same, you're not as good, you don't get as much.
Not getting fired from your job or not getting evicted from your home is really important, but it's not a happy event. You know what I mean? It's preventing a negative from occurring. A marriage is, God willing, a happy event. And I think that is an important thing because we haven't had a lot of things, whether it's fighting for gay rights bills, AIDS-related issues. These were and are incredibly important struggles. But at the end of them, there isn't, a party and a champagne toast and a band and a beautiful dress or an appropriate pantsuit, you know what I mean? Which are not easy to find.
I think AIDS compelled LGBT people to come out of the closet in numbers that they'd never had the courage to before, the motivation to. It was a fight for survival. And I think the way that the community, not a word, I don't love the word community because it's so diverse, but for lack of a better word, the way it handled that crisis by saying, we matter, we're not going to be quiet, we're going to really, really kind of throw open the curtain on who we are and let you see us and then decide whether we're worth saving. I think AIDS was absolutely transformative. There was a great line that George Will used on a Sunday show a couple weeks ago when he was asked about same-sex marriage, and he said, the opposition to this issue is dying. And he said, I mean literally dying.
Right.
And he meant when you look at the age skew in polls,
Yeah.
it's really clear that 20 years from now, this conversation will seem archaic and quaint.